Hi, welcome to Gear Garage. My name is Zach, and this is my fun little internet show about whitewater stuff. And today we're going to do a follow-up talk for my last episode about flip lines. I'll put a link, hopefully here, to show the flip line discussion I had last time. And that was a discussion based on my experience with these kind of what I'm going to call now old school flip lines, something that you wear around your waist. And there's a new way of doing it that I've been explained through some emails and some discussions on the YouTube channel about, on my YouTube page in the comment section below, about this clean line principle and new ways of doing flip lines. And that's what I'll talk about today. First of all, this flip line is what I learned with, and so I'm very proud of. And it goes back to a time where PFDs didn't really have pockets. And so if you wanted to carry a flip line, this is what you did. And I've always kind of done the same thing I've learned and haven't really innovated here. And through these discussions, I'm going to innovate a little bit in my own personal boating. And I think a lot of people, especially guys in the US, still do this. And I want to present this as an option now that we have newer PFDs with better life jackets. Here's an example of an older life jacket where it's just has one pocket. It's not very big. You could put a flip line in there. But I also, in my pockets, I like to carry sunscreen. You know, this one I don't have any sunscreen, but I have a nut driver. Last time I used this PFD, I was probably running pins and clips, so I use this to adjust my pins and clips. So I left it in the pocket. I usually put a knife. I'm a big fan of an internal knife. This one has an external knife, partly because this pocket isn't very big. But now, you know, really modern PFDs that we're using have lots of big pockets. And I really love this Astral Blue vest. I've talked about it before because I can keep my sunscreen in here. I like having a knife that's foldable inside a pocket. I don't like having it on the outside. It's just one more thing when you're trying to get back in a flipped raft. The knife might get stuck on it. I've seen knives fall off before and cause problems. So I'm personally a fan of the inside the PFD life jacket, or inside the PFD knife. I'm a big fan of that. Sorry. And you know, I'll leave chapstick in here. I'll leave trash in here. People are eating in a raft that I'm in. I'll have snacks ready to go. I put a camera in this big pocket. So I like to use the big front pocket for just accessories, stuff I get to day to day. If I had to put a flip line inside this pocket, I probably would take it out after a while because it would annoy me. Right? It would just take up this whole space, and I have to go through it all the time to find things. I don't like this in that big pocket. And it's part of the reason, you know, that a lot of people aren't using flip lines like this and putting them, you know, inside their PFDs. They're wearing them on the outside of their bodies, which violates this new principle out there called the clean line principle. And it's an idea that a lot of guys have been talking about, especially people in the International Rafting Federation and internationally, about not having lines hanging on your body or extra stuff hanging on your body. And so the idea with why this is dangerous is there's a little bit of space here. If you were to go under a log and catch a branch on this, maybe fall out of your boat and catch this on something, any line around you is a potential danger. And I think historically, you know, we were having to weigh these dangers. Do I carry this line around my waist that could maybe get caught on something? Or do I not wear a line, and if I flip, not have a really good way to quickly flip the boat back over? It was a trade-off. And river guys were like, you know what, a quick flip is more important than the small chance this gets caught on my body. But nowadays, with newer methods and technologies and PFDs, we don't have to wear these around our waist. And Mark Hurst from the International Rafting Federation, his company, he has a company that teaches classes. He suggested I try out these runners that Blue Water makes. I think they're made for climbing, as a flip line. And my initial assumption was that, oh yeah, I mean, flip lines are something that go around your waist. And so that I would wear it like this, and I didn't like it because it wasn't actually that tight for me. It had a little bit of looseness. And what I realized was this is a smaller runner and could fit a lot better in a pocket. Or these new PFDs have these side pockets. So I tested this out the other day, and I put one in here just to see would I like using it, how does it work, to flip a boat back over. And so you basically pull it out of this pocket. And the first thing I noticed when I went to get it was I didn't remember which side it was in. So there's a couple things that kind of slowed me down versus my traditional around the waist one. I had to remember which pocket it was in, and then once I found the pocket, it took a bit of flexibility for me when I was cold in a dry suit to actually turn sideways and pull it out. And so this is where practice comes in. This is a skill you should practice so you know which side it's in. You can quickly get to it. You know where the zipper is so you can pull it out. So if you don't use it very often or practice, it might take you 20 seconds to get it out. But if you're practiced, you can get it out pretty quick. And it has a locking carabiner attached to it. It's a quick, easy flip line. Once I got it out, I could just quickly clip it on and flip the boat back over. And this is a pretty cool line. I was a little skeptical at first. It turns out that these this webbing that this is just something I've used my whole life, and so I'm very attached to tubular webbing. It has about a 4,000 pound breaking strength, and this stuff, this is a full inch right here. This half-inch stuff is 3,500, so really close to the same breaking strength, and just really good stuff that you could use. I said last episode you probably shouldn't use it for an anchor. I think I might actually consider using this for an anchor because it is pretty strong. And it's just nice, easy, small stuff that the combination of this smaller webbing that's really strong, partially because it has sewn loops, with new PFDs that have pockets, really means that you can follow the clean line principle by storing your flip line in the side pocket. And the one other side benefit is, a lot of times when I'm guiding, if it's a class 3 river, I may just choose not to put this around my waist. I don't like wearing this around my waist. It's one more thing to put on every day at the beginning of the day, one more thing to take off at the end of the day. And so, as a river guide, we're working long, hard hours. Every little thing I can eliminate, makes my life better. I have to keep track of it all the time. Whereas this thing right here, this runner with a carabiner, I can just store it in my PFD in the pocket and I know it's always there. I don't have to constantly keep track of this thing, which maybe some of you are good at keeping track of things, but boy, I've just realized I can just store it in this pocket and have it accessible all the time. So I just want to thank all of you who left some comments, and Mark, thank you for your information on how to use this and why to use this, and I was really excited to give it a try, and I have to say I'm converted, and I really think that all of us out there should be thinking more about our personal safety and following this clean line principle and putting our lines maybe in the side pocket on a PFD like this, or maybe having them in your main pocket right here with other things. So that's it on flip lines today. I'm sure there's more to come. I'm excited to learn more about the clean line principle as time goes on and share more with all of you. But if you have comments, if you've used either one, you have a strong opinion, please put in the comments down below. They help me learn, they help others learn, and keep this conversation going. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.